Elara's life was etched onto the rugged landscape of the mountains themselves. Each sunrise painted the peaks with fleeting gold, a stark contrast to the enduring grey stone that mirrored the resilience in her heart. She lived in the village of Porthaven, a scattering of simple homes clinging to the lower slopes, where life was a constant negotiation with the elements. Poverty was as common as the mountain air, a silent companion to every villager. Her days began before dawn, collecting firewood and fetching water from the glacial stream that snaked through the valley. Her small frame moved with a practiced efficiency, honed by years of helping her ailing grandmother. Their modest home, inherited from generations past, was filled with love but lacked the comforts most took for granted. Food was often scarce, mended clothes were a luxury, and dreams felt like distant stars. Yet, despair never truly took root in Elara's soul. She possessed an unwavering optimism, a belief in the inherent goodness of the world. She found beauty in the smallest wildflowers pushing through the rocky soil, and solace in the rhythmic whisper of the wind through the pine trees. She held on to the hope that one day, life in Porthaven would be easier, not just for her, but for everyone. It was this quiet strength, this refusal to be defeated by circumstance, that defined Elara, making her a beacon of light in the shadowed valley. Even with the weight of daily struggles on her shoulders, Elara always had a smile ready for a neighbour, a helping hand extended to those in need. The tranquility of Porthaven was shattered by the sharp crack of a branch, followed by a sickening thud echoing through the dense woods above the village. Julian Thorne, a man accustomed to the manicured landscapes of his estates and the sterile air of boardrooms, had sought refuge in the mountains, hoping to escape the relentless pressure of his billion-dollar empire. He was used to controlling every aspect of his life, but the mountains offered a raw, untamed challenge. He'd ignored the warnings of the local guides, confident in his physical prowess and eager to conquer the treacherous trails alone. A misstep, a loose rock, and the illusion of control vanished. He tumbled down a steep embankment, the world a blur of green and brown, his body slamming against unforgiving stone. The fall left him broken and bleeding, his expensive hiking gear torn and useless. Consciousness flickered in and out as the severity of his injuries became clear. He was alone, far from help, and rapidly losing strength. The last thing he saw before darkness consumed him was the canopy of leaves overhead, a mocking reminder of the freedom he had sought and the fate that now seemed inevitable. The mountain, indifferent to his wealth and power, had claimed him as its own. He lay motionless, just a short distance from the edge of Porthaven, utterly unaware that his life was about to intersect with that of a young woman whose world was a million miles away from his own. The morning mist still clung to the mountain slopes as Elara ventured into the woods, her woven basket swinging gently at her side. She was searching for arnica, a potent herb known for its healing properties, desperately needed to soothe her grandmother's aching joints. The usual serenity of the forest was broken by an unfamiliar scent, not of pine and earth, but of something metallic and sharp. Intrigued and slightly apprehensive, Elara followed the scent, pushing through a thicket of ferns. There, amidst the tangled undergrowth, she saw him. A man, dressed in unfamiliar clothes, lay motionless, his face pale and streaked with blood. Fear coiled in Elara's stomach. She had never seen anyone so grievously injured. Her first instinct was to run, to seek help from the village, but something held her back. Looking at his still form, she saw not a stranger, but a fellow human being in desperate need. Despite her own limited resources and the daunting task ahead, Elara knew she couldn't leave him to die. The weight of her decision settled upon her, a responsibility she couldn't shirk. With a deep breath, she knelt beside the injured man, her calloused fingers gently checking for a pulse. It was faint, but there. He was alive. The enormity of the situation washed over her, but her resolve hardened. She would do everything in her power to save him. The task ahead seemed insurmountable. Julian was a large man, and Elara, though strong for her size, struggled to even shift his weight. The nearest village was a considerable distance, and leaving him alone was not an option. With grim determination, she began the arduous process of dragging him towards her home. She used branches as levers, inching him forward a few feet at a time, her muscles screaming in protest. The journey was a slow, agonizing dance between hope and exhaustion. Finally, after what felt like an eternity, she managed to get him to her small cottage. It was a humble dwelling, with a leaky roof and cracked walls, but it was safe. She carefully laid him on her grandmother's bed, the only soft surface in the house. Now came the challenge of tending to his wounds. Elara gently cleaned the cuts and bruises with water from the stream, wincing at the extent of his injuries. She recognized the signs of a possible concussion and a broken rib. Using her knowledge of local herbs, passed down through generations, she prepared a poultice of comfrey and plantain to reduce the swelling and promote healing. She brewed a tea from willow bark, hoping to ease his pain. Her grandmother, though frail, offered what assistance she could, murmuring ancient remedies and prayers. Elara worked tirelessly through the day and night, monitoring Julian's condition, her hope flickering like a candle in the wind. She knew that his survival depended on her skill and unwavering dedication. Days blurred into nights as Elara tended to Julian, her sleep stolen by worry and the constant need to monitor his condition. Then, one morning, she saw a flicker of recognition in his eyes. He was awake. Disorientation clouded his gaze as he tried to make sense of his surroundings. The humble cottage, a stark contrast to the opulent spaces he was accustomed to, offered no clues. He looked at Elara, his expression a mixture of confusion and pain. Where am I?" he croaked, his voice raspy from disuse. Elara gently offered him a cup of water. "You're safe," she said softly. "You're in my home, in Porthaven." Julian struggled to sit up, wincing at the sharp pain in his ribs. He had vague memories of falling, of pain, but the details were hazy. He noticed Elara's worn clothes and the simple furnishings of the room. Instinctively, he knew that revealing his true identity would complicate matters. He decided to withhold the truth, at least for now. I don't remember much," he admitted, feigning ignorance. "I think I was hiking, and I fell." Elara nodded understandingly. "You were lucky I found you. You were badly hurt." She continued to care for him, changing his bandages, feeding him broth, and offering him comfort. Her unwavering dedication and gentle nature touched him deeply. He observed her quiet strength, her selflessness, and the simple joy she found in the smallest things. The experience was slowly chipping away at the hardened shell he had built around himself over years of ruthless business dealings. As Julian's strength returned, so did his curiosity. Confined to the small cottage, he had ample time to observe Elara and to listen to her stories. He learned about the hardships faced by the villagers of Porthaven, their struggles with poverty, illness, and the harsh realities of mountain life. He heard tales of resilience, of neighbors helping neighbors, and of a community bound together by shared adversity. Elara spoke of her dreams for the village, of wanting to bring education and opportunities to the children, of finding ways to improve their lives. In turn, Julian shared fragments of his own life, carefully omitting the details of his wealth and power. He spoke of his travels, his experiences, and his relentless pursuit of success, painting a picture of a driven but ultimately unfulfilled man. He saw the quiet disappointment in Elara's eyes when he described his world, a world so detached from the simple values she held dear. The more they talked, the deeper their connection grew. Julian was captivated by Elara's unwavering optimism and her genuine compassion. He saw in her a purity of spirit that he had long forgotten, a reminder of the values he had sacrificed in his pursuit of wealth. He began to question his own choices, to wonder if he had been chasing the wrong things all along. Elara, in turn, found herself drawn to Julian's intelligence and his unexpected vulnerability. She saw past his gruff exterior to a man searching for something more meaningful in life. The day arrived when Julian knew he could no longer keep his secret. His strength was returning, and the outside world would soon come looking for him. He sat beside Elara near the stream, the same stream she had drawn water from to care for him. He took a deep breath, the mountain air feeling cleaner than ever before. "Elara," he began, his voice serious, "there's something I need to tell you." Something I should have told you sooner. He confessed everything, his true identity as Julian Thorne, the billionaire CEO, the owner of Thorne Industries, a global conglomerate. He watched her face carefully, expecting disbelief, perhaps even anger. Her expression shifted from curiosity to surprise, then to a quiet contemplation. Julian Thorne, she repeated softly, as if testing the sound of the name. I've seen your picture in newspapers, on the rare occasions we get them here. The silence stretched between them, filled only by the gentle murmur of the stream. Finally, Elara spoke, her voice calm and steady. It doesn't change anything, she said simply. You're still the man I helped, the man I've come to know. Julian was taken aback. He had expected a dramatic reaction, perhaps even a demand for money. But Elara's grounded response was a testament to her character. She saw him not as a billionaire, but as a person, a human being who had needed her help. In that moment, Julian knew that his initial assessment of her had been correct. She was truly extraordinary. Her reaction solidified his resolve to help her and her village, not out of obligation, but out of genuine admiration and affection. The weight of what Elara had done settled upon Julian, a profound realization of the debt he owed her. It wasn't just about tending to his wounds, she had saved his life, pulled him back from the brink when he was utterly helpless. He grasped her hands, his gaze earnest and sincere. Elara, he said, his voice thick with emotion, you saved my life. I owe you everything. I want to repay your kindness, to show you how grateful I truly am. He paused, searching for the right words. You could have left me there. You could have been afraid. But you didn't. You risked everything to help a stranger. He continued, I have resources, Elara, more than you can imagine. I want to use them to make your life easier, to give you the opportunities you deserve. He imagined the possibilities, a new home, access to education, anything her heart desired. Name it, he urged, anything at all, and it's yours. Julian was prepared to shower her with gifts, to provide her with the material comforts she had always lacked. He thought this was what she wanted, what anyone in her situation would want. But he was about to learn that Elara's values were far different from his own. He underestimated her profound sense of community and her unwavering commitment to something larger than herself. He was ready to give her the world, but she was about to show him what truly mattered in it. Elara gently pulled her hands away from Julian's, her expression thoughtful. I appreciate your offer, Julian, I truly do. But I don't need anything for myself. Julian was taken aback. But, surely there's something you want. A new home? Better clothes? A chance to see the world? Elara smiled softly. My home is here, with my grandmother. I have everything I need. She paused, her gaze sweeping across the valley, taking in the familiar landscape. But Porthaven. Porthaven needs help. She spoke of the poverty that gripped the village, the lack of proper healthcare, the children who couldn't afford to attend school, the aging infrastructure that was crumbling under the weight of time and neglect. We don't need handouts, Julian. We need opportunities. We need a chance to build a better future for ourselves. She explained her vision, a new school, a clinic, a sustainable source of income for the villagers. If you truly want to repay me, Julian, help Porthaven. Help my people. Julian was deeply moved by her selflessness. He had expected her to ask for personal gain, but instead, she was advocating for her community. Her reluctance to accept help for herself was a testament to her strong character and her unwavering commitment to her village. He realized that his initial offer, while generous, had been misguided. He had been thinking in terms of material possessions, while Elara was thinking in terms of community and opportunity. Her response redefined his understanding of gratitude and the true meaning of wealth. Julian was deeply impressed by Elara's altruism. Her selflessness had not only saved his life but had also opened his eyes to a new way of seeing the world. He knew that simply throwing money at the problem wouldn't be enough. He needed a sustainable solution, a way to empower the villagers to build a better future for themselves. And he needed Elara's help. "Elara," he said, a newfound conviction in his voice, "I will help Porthaven. I will invest in your vision, but I want to offer you something more." He paused, choosing his words carefully. "You have a sharp mind, a compassionate heart, and a clear understanding of what your community needs. You deserve the opportunity to develop your talents and to become an even greater force for good." He proposed a life-changing proposition, a full scholarship to the best university in the country, with a focus on sustainable development and community leadership. "I want you to get an education, Elara, to gain the knowledge and skills you need to make a real difference, not just in Porthaven, but in the world." He added, "And while you're studying, I will dedicate my resources to revitalizing your village, working closely with you to ensure that your vision is realized." It was a win-win situation, a chance for Elara to pursue her dreams and for Porthaven to receive the support it desperately needed. Julian hoped that she would accept, not just for her own sake, but for the sake of her community. With Elara's blessing, Julian put his plan into action. Porthaven became a hub of activity, a testament to the transformative power of compassion and strategic investment. Construction crews arrived, bringing with them modern equipment and skilled labor. A new schoolhouse began to rise, its sturdy walls and bright windows a symbol of hope for the future. A clinic was established, staffed by dedicated doctors and nurses, providing much-needed medical care to the villagers. Julian didn't just throw money at the problem, he worked closely with the community to identify their needs and to develop sustainable solutions. He invested in local businesses, providing training and resources to help them thrive. He implemented renewable energy projects, bringing electricity to the village and reducing their reliance on fossil fuels. The transformation was remarkable. Children who had once toiled in the fields were now attending school, their faces alight with curiosity and enthusiasm. The sick and injured were receiving prompt and effective medical care. Families who had struggled to make ends meet were now able to provide for their loved ones. Porthaven was no longer a forgotten village clinging to the side of a mountain. It was a thriving community, a beacon of hope and opportunity. The villagers, once resigned to their fate, were now filled with a sense of pride and optimism. They had been given a chance to build a better future, and they were seizing it with both hands. And at the heart of it all was Elara, the young woman whose kindness and selflessness had sparked this extraordinary transformation. Elara embraced her opportunity with unwavering dedication. The transition from a small mountain village to the bustling campus of a prestigious university was daunting, but she approached it with the same resilience and optimism that had defined her life. She excelled in her studies, devouring knowledge and absorbing new ideas like a sponge. She was particularly drawn to courses on sustainable development, community planning, and international relations. She never forgot Porthaven. During her breaks, she would return to the village, eager to see the progress firsthand and to contribute her newfound knowledge. She worked alongside Julian's team, offering insights and suggestions based on her studies. She also mentored the younger students, encouraging them to pursue their own dreams and to become leaders in their community. Elara's education not only transformed her own life but also enhanced her ability to help others. She learned how to access resources, navigate complex systems, and advocate for change on a larger scale. She became a powerful voice for the marginalized and the underserved, using her platform to raise awareness about the challenges faced by rural communities around the world. Her commitment extended beyond Porthaven. She volunteered at local charities, participated in international development projects, and used her growing network to connect people in need with those who could help. Elara's journey was a testament to the transformative power of education and the ripple effect of kindness. She was proving that one act of compassion could change not only one life but an entire world. As Elara blossomed into a confident and accomplished young woman, and as Julian continued to support her and the village, the bond between them deepened into something more profound. It wasn't just gratitude or admiration, it was a genuine romantic connection that defied their vastly different backgrounds. They spent hours talking, sharing their hopes and dreams, their fears and vulnerabilities. Julian found himself drawn to Elara's unwavering spirit, her infectious optimism, and her genuine compassion. She challenged him to be a better man, to use his wealth and power for good, to prioritize people over profits. Elara, in turn, saw past Julian's billionaire status to the kind and generous soul that lay beneath. She admired his intelligence, his drive, and his newfound commitment to making a difference in the world. She appreciated his unwavering support for her and for Porthaven, and she found herself falling in love with his genuine heart. Their romance wasn't without its challenges. They came from different worlds, with different experiences and different expectations. Julian's social circle was filled with wealthy and powerful individuals who couldn't understand his connection to a simple village girl. The media scrutinized their relationship, questioning Elara's motives and speculating about Julian's intentions. But their love for each other was stronger than any obstacle. They found solace in their shared values, their mutual respect, and their unwavering commitment to each other. They knew that their relationship was something special, something worth fighting for. Their love story was a testament to the power of connection, a reminder that true love can blossom in the most unexpected places, bridging divides and defying expectations. The skepticism surrounding their relationship intensified. Julian's social circle, accustomed to a world of privilege and power, couldn't comprehend his affection for Elara. They whispered behind his back, questioning her motives and suggesting that she was merely using him for his wealth. Some even tried to sabotage their relationship, spreading rumors and attempting to drive a wedge between them. The media frenzy was even more relentless. Tabloids ran sensationalized stories, portraying Elara as a gold digger and Julian as a naive fool. They dug into her past, highlighting her humble beginnings and twisting her selfless actions into calculated moves. Every aspect of their lives was scrutinized, dissected, and distorted for the sake of headlines. Elara found herself overwhelmed by the constant barrage of negativity. She struggled to understand why people were so quick to judge her, to assume the worst about her intentions. She felt isolated and vulnerable, questioning whether she was strong enough to withstand the pressure. Julian, too, was affected by the criticism. He hated seeing Elara hurt, and he felt guilty for exposing her to the harsh realities of his world. He knew that he had to protect her, to shield her from the negativity and to defend their love against those who sought to tear it apart. He resolved to stand by her side, to prove to the world that their relationship was based on genuine love and mutual respect, not on money or power. The obstacles they faced only strengthened their resolve to fight for their love and their future together. Julian decided that enough was enough. He could no longer stand by and watch Elara be unfairly vilified. He knew that he had to take control of the narrative, to set the record straight, and to defend the woman he loved. He called a press conference, inviting journalists from around the world. The room was packed, the air thick with anticipation. He stood at the podium, his gaze steady and resolute. He spoke passionately about Elara, recounting the story of how she had saved his life, how she had inspired him to be a better man, and how she had transformed the lives of an entire community. Elara is not a gold digger, he declared, his voice ringing with conviction. She is one of the most selfless and compassionate people I have ever met. She has dedicated her life to helping others, and she has done so without expecting anything in return. He emphasized her genuine character, her unwavering commitment to her community, and the positive impact she had had on his life. He spoke of her intelligence, her strength, and her unwavering optimism. He shared stories of her kindness, her generosity, and her unwavering belief in the goodness of humanity. He concluded his statement with a heartfelt declaration of love. Elara has shown me what truly matters in life, he said, his voice filled with emotion. She has taught me the value of compassion, the importance of community, and the power of love. I am proud to be with her, and I will stand by her side, always. His public declaration was a powerful testament to their love and a resounding rebuke to their critics. With Julian's unwavering support, Elara dedicated her life to philanthropy. She used her newfound platform to advocate for other impoverished communities, sharing her story and inspiring others to take action. She traveled the world, visiting remote villages and urban slums, listening to the stories of those who were struggling and working to find solutions. She became a champion for sustainable development, promoting innovative solutions that addressed the root causes of poverty and inequality. She worked with governments, NGOs, and private sector organizations to implement projects that provided access to education, healthcare, clean water, and economic opportunities. Elara never forgot her roots. She continued to be actively involved in Porthaven, ensuring that the village remained a model for sustainable development. She established a foundation to support other rural communities, providing grants and technical assistance to help them replicate Porthaven's success. She also used her influence to raise awareness about the importance of environmental conservation. She spoke passionately about the need to protect the planet for future generations, and she supported initiatives that promoted renewable energy, sustainable agriculture, and responsible resource management. Elara's philanthropy was driven by her deep sense of compassion and her unwavering belief in the power of human potential. She believed that everyone deserved a chance to live a life of dignity and purpose, and she was determined to do everything in her power to make that a reality. She demonstrated that even one person, with the right resources and the right heart, could make a profound difference in the world. Elara and Julian built a life together that was a testament to the power of love, compassion, and shared purpose. They traveled the world, hand in hand, visiting the communities that Elara was working to support. They celebrated their successes and mourned their setbacks, always learning and growing together. Julian used his wealth and influence to amplify Elara's voice and to support her philanthropic endeavors. He transformed his business practices, prioritizing sustainability and social responsibility. He invested in companies that were committed to making a positive impact on the world, and he used his platform to advocate for policies that promoted equality and justice. They never forgot their roots. They continued to visit Porthaven regularly, spending time with the villagers and celebrating the community's progress. They established a scholarship fund to support students from rural communities, giving them the opportunity to pursue their dreams and to become leaders in their own right. Their love story became an inspiration to millions, a reminder that anything is possible when people come together with a shared vision and a commitment to making the world a better place. They proved that kindness and compassion could bridge any divide, that love could conquer all, and that even the most unlikely of partnerships could create extraordinary change. Their future was one dedicated to service, to love, and to leaving the world a better place than they found it. They lived a life that truly mattered. And so, their story became a legend, whispered in the valleys of the mountains and echoed in the halls of power. It was a story about the transformative power of kindness, the unexpected ways in which lives can be changed, and the enduring strength of the human spirit. It reminds us that even the smallest act of compassion can have a profound impact, rippling outwards to touch countless lives. It teaches us that true wealth lies not in material possessions, but in the richness of our relationships and the depth of our commitment to others. It shows us that love can conquer all, bridging divides of wealth, class, and culture, and that even the most unlikely of partnerships can create extraordinary change. It inspires us to look beyond the surface, to see the humanity in everyone, and to believe in the power of human potential. Their journey was a testament to the fact that one person can make a difference. Elara's initial act of kindness, her willingness to help a stranger in need, set in motion a chain of events that transformed not only her own life but also the lives of countless others. It is a story of hope, a reminder that even in the darkest of times, there is always light to be found. It is a call to action, an invitation to embrace our own capacity for compassion and to use our resources, whatever they may be, to make the world a better place. For in the end, it is kindness, compassion, and love that will truly change the world. It is a story that encourages us to believe in the extraordinary power of ordinary acts.